you? Welcome to our second class. Last class we have discussed about different effects of electric current such as heating effect, lighting effect, magnetic effect, etc. Today we are going to discuss about heating effect of electric current. There are many devices which are working using this particular heating effect of electric current. Can you give some examples for that? Electric iron box, induction cooker, soldering iron, etc. other devices are working using heating effect of electric current. To understand more about this particular heating effect of electric current, we have to study about this particular activity. Or if you look at this picture, here we are connecting a nichrome wire of resistance R between the terminals of a battery 6-volt potential difference. When we are passing current through this electric circuit, we can observe that nichrome wire becomes red hot after some time. Just like in this picture, that nichrome wire becomes red hot. What will be the reason behind it? And why the nichrome wire alone becomes red hot? To understand all these things, we have to discuss in detail about this electric circuit. So all of you look at this electric circuit I have drawn here. From this circuit, we can understand the potential difference by measuring the voltage using this voltmeter that we have connected between the ends of this resistance. Here we are using nichrome wire as the resistance. Then the current can be calculated using this ammeter. Then don't forget that voltmeter we have connected in parallel to the resistance and ammeter we have connected in series to this circuit. Those things we have already studied. Then current in an electric circuit is the flow of electrons or the flow of charges in a particular time. That also we have already studied. So I or the current I is equal to Q by T. Q stands for charges and T is the time. So the flow of charges in a particular time is known as the current flow in this circuit. Then the potential difference between 2 points will be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge from a point to another. Likewise, 1 joule of work is to be done to move 1 coulomb of charge in 1 volt potential difference. So here the work done to move 1 coulomb of charge when the voltage is 1 volt, W is equal to V. W is equal to V joules. This much work we have to do. Then when we want to move Q charges, the work becomes W is equal to Q into V joules. Then who is doing this work here? The work is being done by the batteries that we are connected in this circuit. Then the power supplied by the battery P is equal to W by T. Power of a device we have already studied. It is the ability to do work in a particular time. So P is equal to work by time. P is equal to W by T. Then here we got an equation for work, that is W is equal to QV. So we are putting that value here in the place of W in this particular equation. So the equation becomes P is equal to QV by T. Instead of W, we are writing QV that we got from this equation. Then at the starting we have discussed that I or the current is equal to Q by T. Then that we are substituting here instead of this Q by T. So it becomes P is equal to IV. or for our comfortableness, P is equal to VI. That is the power supplied by the battery to this electric circuit. Then when we are passing current in this circuit for time t, then the energy supplied by the battery becomes PT is equal to VIT. In this circuit, that energy is changing as heat. So instead of PT, we are using the term H, that means heat. As the energy is converting into heat, here we are using H is equal to VIT. This is the equation of heat generating in this circuit when we are passing current through this circuit. Then in 9th standard, we have studied a particular law that is called as Ohm's law. Using Ohm's law, we know the equation of voltage, that is V is equal to IR. That particular value we are giving here. Instead of this V in this equation, H is equal to VIT. Thus the equation becomes H is equal to, instead of VIT, in the place of this V, we are putting IR into I into T. Thus the equation becomes I into E, I into I square RT. Here is the equation to find the heat generated in a circuit when current passing in that circuit. H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. Here, this particular process of generation of heat in a circuit when current is passing through that circuit is known as Joule's heating or ohmic heating. So it is a process by which heat is developed in a circuit when current is passing through that circuit. That particular process is called as Joule heating or ohmic heating. The famous English scientist James Prescott Joule was studied more about this particular phenomenon. Thus, this phenomenon is known in the name of Joule. Joule heating or ohmic heating. From this equation, we can understand that why the nichrome wire alone becomes red hot when we are passing current through that circuit. Nichrome is a combination of nickel and chromium. Nichrome is a combination of nickel and chromium. So it is having high resistivity. So here, when we are passing current through that circuit, that energy converting into heat due to its high resistivity. Thus, the nichrome wire alone becomes red hot in the first circuit. Then we have to study about the factors influences the generation of heat in a circuit. Or if you look at this equation, from this equation itself we can understand the three factors which are influencing the heat generates in a circuit when we are passing current through that circuit. These are the three factors. First one, the equation is H is equal to I square RT. So the first factor is I and the second one is R and the third factor is T. Here I stands for current in the circuit and R is the resistance of the resistor and time T and T is the time of current flow in this circuit. Combining all these points, James Prescott Joule proposed a law that is known as Joule's law. According to Joule's law, The heat generated in a circuit is directly proportional to the product of the square of current and the resistance of the resistor and the time of current flow in the circuit. So these are the three factors which influences the heat generated in a circuit. Then Joule's law states that the heat generated in a circuit is directly proportional to the product of the square of current flow and the resistance of the resistor and the time of current flow in this circuit. That's all about Joule's law. It's very important. Then we have to find more equations for the heat generated using this Ohm's law. According to Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to IR, and we can find an equation for I is equal to V by R and R is equal to V by I. Then here I am using this particular equation instead of these values in this equation. Thus the equation becomes H is equal to, here instead of I am using V by R. So the equation becomes H is equal to V by R whole square into RT. Then V square by R square into RT, and I am cancelling this both the R's here. V by, then the equation becomes V square by RT. So here is another equation for heat generated in a circuit. So this is the first equation, H is equal to I square RT, and second one H is equal to V square by RT, and third one, here we are using the value of R. Then from the equation H is equal to I square RT. Instead of R, we are applying this value, R is equal to V by I. So I square into V by I into T. Then cancelling both the I's here. Then the equation becomes IVT. H is equal to IVT, or H is equal to VIT. This is the third equation to find the heat generated in a circuit. These three equations are very important. So that's all about Joule's law and the process of Joule heating. Let me conclude all the points we have discussed in this class. Then you will get an idea about the things you have to study. First one, Joule's law, then Joule heating or ohmic heating, and the factors which influences the heat generated. That three factors and the three equations to find the heat generated in a circuit. H is equal to I square RT, H is equal to V square by RT, and H is equal to VIT. Then we have to study which factor influences the most on the heat generated in a circuit. Those things we can discuss on the further class. So that's all for today. Thank you.